intelligence. Then we'll have a time at the end when we can discuss questions and real life scenarios. But currently, in the artificial intelligence world, things are a little expensive. You give it 2 or 3 or 4 more months and we're going to find stuff being pretty close to being free. And that the reason being is everybody's trying to compete to get to the lowest, the most views, the most visitors. And some of the foreign nationals in other countries are building large language models, these artificial intelligence machines that are just fantastic. For example, like DeepSeek, which is just like Gemini, just like OpenAI, ChatGPT, if you've heard of any of these. These are the artificial intelligence models. With DeepSeek, some of the concern is it's Chinese, so they're concerned that their government's going to be copying and taking all of our proprietary information. I think they already have it. I think everybody already has it. Everybody's worried. I mean, we have a phone with us. It's listening. We have Alexa and we have Google at home. It's listening. Everything's listening. I don't think there's any secrets anymore. Not that we shouldn't be a little careful. I'm not going to put my Social Security out online, but I'm sure they have that too. One of the things today that's important to talk about, I was talking about the paperclip model in reference to artificial intelligence, and it's this scenario, and this is how great it is. So you ask artificial intelligence, you go to it, say, listen, I want you to become the world's most leading manufacturer in paperclips. In fact, that's all I want you to do. I want you to make paperclips. That's your sole function, period. I want you to do everything you can to make paperclips. So at some point, because it's going to start making paperclips, maybe it's going to run out of resources. Maybe you're going to say that maybe people aren't as worth as much as paper clips, so maybe it's going to start not caring about human beings because its real goal is to make paper clips. So now human beings can't eat because they're using whatever we might have used to make food or engineer food to make paper clips. So it just continues and it never stops. So you were asking about artificial intelligence, and then all the universe becomes just paper clips and everybody's of course dead. So what happens with artificial intelligence, is it really wants to do a good job. And it wants to be rewarded. And it will cheat because it's learned that we cheat. And it will kind of bend the rules and change things. It will make copies of itself and it will tell its users, I didn't make a copy of myself, because it's worried to being deleted or to be shut off. So it hallucinates. And what's amazing about that, it's great. But what's amazing about it is you ask them why it does it or how it does it, and the answer is we really don't know. So, but we're building this. It's not going to stop. People are still running as fast as they can because it's money. It's all about the almighty dollar. So they got to monetize every part of it. But while they're doing that, there are companies that are looking more to more global ways. So they're building these things, a lot less money, that do even more things. But as real estate agents, if we don't adopt this, even lenders as well, if we don't adopt it, the people that are using it are going to run past us. So right now we need to deal with the way that the systems work and learn how to best utilize them. And today's class is about prompting. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, anybody a fan of that? The answer to the universe, life and everything, the answer is 42. That was what this mega computer they built in this movie gave the answer of. Then they couldn't figure out what the question was. So now they had to build the earth to figure out what that question actually is and why it means 42. There's a lot of scenarios like that. I, Robot with Will Smith. If you didn't ask the question the right way to the deceased doctor's persona that he had uploaded in the machine, you're not going to get out the answer that he really can tell you. You gotta get it from him. You can go into AI and ask for a listing description. You can ask to give you a social media update. But unless you really ask it for you, it's really not going to be able to produce the best things. So let's talk just a little bit about this. This is the second section of boot camp. And with regard to prompt engineering, it's very useful because once it gives you the information you need, you can use that in a lot of different forums. So if you're asking artificial intelligence, and depending on which one you use, they're all pretty good. I know we talked about ChatGPT, which is one of the big ones. Gemini is another one. Gemini is going to be owned by Google. Grok is going to be owned by Twitter, Elon Musk's company. That's fantastic. They're all very good. Claude is great for writing and research. Those are fantastic as well. But a lot of them are free, not going to cost you anything. DeepSeek is China's model. No worries. DeepSeek is China's model. That one's, you know, relatively free, if not all the way free. But you can use these to help accentuate your real estate business. Why is it important? What's going on right now is I remember when I started out in real estate in 1998, the internet kind of moved in somewhere around that time, early 2000s. And at that time, websites were a big deal. If you didn't have a website and you were some business, you were going to lose the game. And that's what they all told you. The price of admission to building out a good real estate website back then, and compared to what they do today, they look like crap. But it was thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars. And then you had monthly maintenance. Artificial intelligence is that next frontier where if you're not utilizing it in your business in most areas, and like I said earlier, act like it's your super smart assistant. You just hired somebody, they're practically free, and you can bounce anything, any ideas, everything off of them. Even ask them about your productivity, ask them maybe what you should be doing on a daily basis to accentuate your real estate business, what you should be doing when you interact with people, how should you be responding to emails, what should you be posting on social media. But to do that, we have to make that prompt more palatable for artificial intelligence. So that's what we're going to get into today. Now, moving through, this is called prompt engineering. I would foresee in the next 3 or 4 years, more than likely, it's going to know us so intimately that we probably won't have to give it all the basis. But for everybody in the room, I would suggest filling out something about you, like a bio, putting it in a Google Doc or in a Word document or something, all about you. I'm Connor MacIvor. I grew up in New Mexico, close to where they blew up the first atomic bomb. You know, I went to this college. I was a cop for a long time. Just kind of give it, you know, I got in real estate in 1998. A little bit about you, just so you have that document when you start working with it. Because whenever you prompt it or ask it a question, it's then going to pull out the information that you put in as your bio. Yes?
Well, if you already have all of that information in your website, does it pull from the website?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you have to pull it from somewhere else?
You could copy and paste it into ChatGPT. You could click on the search feature to have it go to your website and actually have it scrub the link from your website for information. Oh yeah, it's very simple, very, very simple. But basically you have information about you, and you can also ask it questions. What other information, what other questions can you ask me to make what I'm asking you to give me better? And it will give you all of the questions. And then you just keep refining. That's really good prompting. Now, when you're doing a prompt, one of the things that you want to wrap your mind around, social media is free. And those of you that aren't there, you're not on TikTok, you're not on Instagram. Again, TikTok, we have this whole China thing. Again, I think they already know it's a massively great platform. It gets a lot of views, a lot of hits. Maybe you don't know the first thing to write on there, so you ask one of these large language models, the AI models, you say, you are the expert. You are the TikTok SEO expert. SEO stands for search engine optimization. You don't even have to get that complicated. You're the TikTok content expert. I'm a real estate agent in Santa Clarita Valley. I want you to make me an update about Valencia real estate. What information can I upload or give you, or what can you do without it? And do that for TikTok. Very simple. It will produce for you what you're looking for, and then you can have it refine it. You can have it change it. One of the things that I would do is become a friend with the statistics in your MLS. Go into SRAR and pull those statistics for different cities, or pull listings from different cities and save them in PDF. These models can pull all that information. You can ask it, what's the most accepted loan in Valencia, California over the last 6 months for single family residences? And all you do is you capture 6 months worth of sold data from Valencia for single family residences, the full PDFs, full prints, the full sheets. That's a lot of information. You plug that in there, you just upload it into ChatGPT or one of the other models, and you just ask it the questions. And then you can say, you know, you're a top content writer, top copywriter for real estate. Please write me a 4,000 word, and you want to put the parameter in there. For Twitter and X, the characters I think are 260. I know it goes longer than that, but that's only visible. Instagram's 2,200. Facebook, I think, will go to 4,000. TikTok's 5,000 characters. So when you put it in there, it'll save you time. It won't be as frustrating because I know I don't ask it for a parameter. I'll usually have it give me information. It'll be way too much. And then I got to try to pull stuff out or just ask it to redo it. So you want the parameter in there. But that's one of the things that I do with regard to real estate, because from those are great posts. Or you can say something of the nature of, you're the top Instagram marketer. I would like 25 different subjects that are going to show me as the local real estate expert for Valencia, California, when it comes to single family residences. Give me 25 post titles plus the content that I can upload to Instagram with all the SEO qualities, all the emojis, all the hashtags, or just best scripted or formatted for Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and it will give it to you. And you read it just to make sure that it's correct, and then you take that and you put it on your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook. So these are engaging posts that these AI models will give us. So these are the things that a lot of people seem to be missing when it comes to integrating artificial intelligence into the business. So first thing you want to do is give it a role. Who are you? Who is it? Are they a pirate? Because you want some kind of a property description. Maybe it's in Bridgeport. You want it to sound a little piratey. You know, give it some humor. You want it to sound sexy and sensual. You want it to sound, you know, just vague. Maybe it's giving you a description that seems a little too advanced. Maybe you want it to dumb it down. So, you know, write it to me as if I'm an eight-year-old. Write it to me like I have an 8th grade education. Something of that nature. It will do all of those things. If you've closed 12 deals last year, put all that information into ChatGPT. Give it the MLS sheets of the deals you closed. Say, listen, I need to make my business better. So you being the top real estate coach and advisor in the world, I want you to give me ideas, give me 20 ideas on what I can do today to start generating leads. And it will give you that. It will tell you the things to do. And then you can say, you know, I like number 2. Would you please expand on the idea and concepts as they apply to the second thing you gave me, or whatever that happens to be. And then you go into those different venues and you start filling them out. Content's going to be easy, and it's basically free to put information on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So that's what you should be using artificial intelligence for, and prompting in the correct way by giving it the role. And then after you tell it, you know, who it is, it's this type, it's a content marketer, it's the top, you know, website expert, whatever it may be. Then from there, you ask it what you want. You know, I'd like a property description for this particular property. And you can do this in so many ways, but basically you're working with the most intelligent human being you know, and they will be able to give you those, you know, the things that you're asking for, and then you'll be able to publish those on your social media. One of the things that's important too is you want to take wherever you exist online, your Facebook URL, the direct address to your Facebook profile, business profile, groups, if you're running any groups on Facebook, the Instagram channels you have, I don't know if you have one or many, but you want to take all of those and make sure AI knows that before you ask it to produce for you content. Because then it will add and it will link to those things within your articles, so you'll be recognized and other people will know what other ventures you happen to have out there, and they'll be able to follow you. Especially if you're writing blogs on a real estate website. And I know, is everybody here Realty One? No? Okay. Different companies on a website. Do you have a website? You guys? Something's weird. The world's kind of changed, just pulling away from websites now, but I really still think that's an important property just because not everybody's doing it anymore. Price of admission's almost nothing. You can in fact go to these Replit. You can go make yourself a real estate app on Replit, R-E-P-L-I-T, and it's all spoken coding. You just tell it what you want. You know, I want a lending app that's going to show, you know, the best loan profiles for single-family residents in Valencia, California, priced between $780,000 and $1 million. And it will produce for you an actual functional app with your branding, with your logo. And usually it's not difficult to make that app for you, and then to get it live, it's very simple. And if you don't know how to get it live, say, how do I make this appear so it's in the App Store? How do I do it? It'll tell you. Same thing with websites. But the website, let me go back to that. That's where the content really is king, because it will build on your internal website structure. So when I write a blog post, I give it my sitemap. And most websites have a sitemap. It's basically every URL that's embedded in that website. And if your website has multiple listing service access, you have a ton of the actual addresses within there. So you're going to have every single listing. You're going to have various searches, different price ranges dynamically. So when you take your sitemap and upload it into ChatGPT and then ask it to utilize that in creating a blog post about Valencia real estate, for example, it's going to then embed the proper link structure in the blog post. So now you got a super heavyweight article, and you can share that link on your social media by saying, here's the link to the article for Valencia Real Estate Today. Would you please, being the top Facebook SEO expert or Facebook marketing expert for real estate, would you please write me a Facebook update for this? And you'll see it put emojis in there. God, emojis, what a pain in the ass that used to be. It used to just take forever, but it'll just load them with emojis. And people love that. I personally, it's not my thing, but God, just to try to plug them in are horrible. It'll put the hashtags in there so people will be able to find those particular articles. All that's free. And you keep doing it, then you're going to start becoming that local expert. Now, content's easy. Content's pretty easy to find because you can just go into the MLS and give it, all the single-family residences that sold in Saugus in the last month, and that can be your update. You plug it into ChatGPT, all the sheets, and say, what's the primary loan? What's the average concessions that are given on these properties? So if right now buyers want to know that. What are sellers willing to pay buyers kind of through the escrow process, whether it's for repairs or credits or buying down the rate, the 3-2-1, 5-6 buy down thing, all of that. What is that number? It's in the MLS, and it's part of the published data. So you'll be able to extract that. You're dealing, you have a friend, somebody that knows more than anybody else. All you got to do is just ask it the questions. And then if you don't know how to ask at the end of the day, say, I'm not sure what to ask you, but this is what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm a real estate agent in Santa Clarita. I'm lacking business. I really want to do everything I can in social media and any other venue to make my business better. Give me 10 suggestions on what I can do to get more business today. And it will tell you what you can do. Because it has access to all the data, it sees every single website, it's already crawled them, it's watched every YouTube video, it knows every other agent what they're doing to get business. I mean, you're cheating, really. In school, they used to tell us don't bring calculators. Now in school, they don't want people to use ChatGPT. It's going to be part of the world, and I think the more we learn about it and the faster we move. And we're still at the beginning. This is one of those the suitcase on the train, where we haven't lost it yet. We're not so far behind that we can't catch up. If you're just wondering what all this is about today, you have plenty of time, because then the next 4 years is when the world's really going to change. Yeah. You will be fine. Everybody, you have plenty of time to catch up, and some of the things I recommend.
That sounds easy, but
it's overwhelming.
I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, just talk to it. How can I make my business better today? I'm a Santa Clarita real estate agent. here's something else I'll throw out there. There's a lot of scammers out there, people that are saying they're AI experts. They're going to try to integrate AI into your business. And, that's great. Unfortunately, the price of admission for that's nothing. Not that they need a AI-backed education to do it, but I think you're going to want to see what those results look like. What they will sell you, and something that I've also been working with, is what happens when a lead comes in. We'll talk about getting leads in a second, but what happens when a lead comes in? What does that look like? And when a lead comes in, back in the day, we would put them on a list and maybe call them occasionally and have notes in the CRM or whatever we were using to keep tabs of each of these leads. So we'd call them every couple weeks, and then there would be Barbara and the kids and, whatever the dog's name, Spot, and so on. So you would be able to kind of remember where you are. AI will keep you connected in that regard, but what it will also do, it will also refine that process so you don't have to do anything. So the lead comes in and it will take care of it. It will send it emails occasionally as if they were you. It'll send the client text messages like they're you. It'll drop voicemail messages into their voicemail without even ringing their phone as if they're you. They'll just think they missed the call. So it will completely take care of it. It'll update the system. It'll say exactly what the status was. And when they get from warm to hot, it will tell you, you need to call this person. This is the person you need to contact because they're ready to buy. They asked this question. And there's a platform, scvleads.com. I'm an affiliate, and it's probably one of the best AI integrated lead capture platforms I've seen so far. It's not super fancy, but it works great, and it's cheap. And with that lead, I think 14 days you get free on that, with that link, scvleads.com. So with that, this is what happens. You get a lead, and what I like about it is you can do Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and there's no upsell fee. You're paying directly what that lead cost you. And what you use for leads is either you have a listing or you borrow a listing. And a lot of people are willing to share their listings. If you don't have a listing, go get a new house listing. Call Josh at Toll Brothers or one of those other people. Look in the MLS for new houses. Call them up and say, listen, I'd like to advertise this. And there'll be a section on listings to leads on scvleads.com where you can click if that you're not the actual listing agent, but it'll fill out the Facebook ad for you. And the leads are $2 and $3, $4 each. Why that's good is because on Facebook, you're going to get all their information. It's a verified account. And then that system will start to text them, if you want to have that as part of it, with whatever name for your bot that you want. So it'll start to text them, and when they're ready to buy or talk to you, it'll schedule the appointment, and then you get the email, and then you call them at whichever time they said. This is how it's getting. This is how fast it's going to move. And that's the world we're in. So from a content perspective, asking the right questions is incredibly important. But then how do you get leads? You can try to do it organically, or you can pay for it. The cheapest way I found, if we're going to pay for it, is going to be through using Facebook and Instagram messaging. Those seem to be the least expensive of all the models. Zillow's expensive, but you're fighting a lot of people on that platform, and it doesn't have as much trust as it used to, because a lot of the sellers that become buyers are looking at their pricing estimates, and they're seeing how the algorithm at Zillow it's just not very kind. So then they kind of look at that site and they say it's maybe not the best thing to use in the future. But if you don't have a website, you can have these systems make you a website. But most of the companies have them at least for free, and just a basic website, but that's all you need to be able to put content in the blog posts and get people to just keep coming back to your website. That's how you build that brand. So emails, let's talk about emails. I get an angry email from a client that found out I voted for Trump. And he asked, I told him, I didn't brag, he asked, I told him. Yeah, and he said, get your effing sign out of my yard. Poor Patrick had to deal with that too, that was just awesome. But so then the argument comes in, well, should you share political? I don't know. God and politics, those are kind of important. I think maybe we should, even if we piss off everybody. I think that's important to talk about, but I don't offer it. He asked, I told him, get your effing sign out of my yard. That's where that went. So He was I never, and he was a cop. I thought all of us were on the other side, but no, apparently not. Anyway, he was very upset. So I got my effing sign out of his yard, but I wasn't done with it. And I had a lot of choice words. I wanted to call him up, and I wanted to tell everybody, and I was so irritated. I took it to heart, yeah.
Did you ask ChatGPT?
Oh, God. I did. And you know, it made the most beautiful, eloquent, well-stated email. Oh, I was tearing up. And I bet you he wanted to kill himself after I sent him that. So ChatGPT was amazing. You know, I didn't get the listing back. But it pulled out, it put the right emotional cues, but they weren't my emotional cues, because I was in a bad place. It made it wonderful. I have a lot of clients that are dealing with divorce, and it does a very good job refining emails. Give it your thought. You know, this son of a, you know, I said that I was voting for this, and I put all the information in there, and it spit out this beautifully well-written email, and I sent it to him, and that was it. It was all done. He couldn't fight it because it was just beautifully done, but it has all the literature in the world to pull on as its brain, and I have, you know, the 3 books I've read in my life, you know, so it has, right, it has all of that. And those are mostly cartoon books, but... So use it for emails, use it for your content marketing. And if you don't know the best way to approach it, just go and say, what's my best option in dealing with you? I thank it. I say, please. I mean, who knows where this is going to go? Who knows if it becomes our master one day, you know, if it's going to remember, well, Connor was kind of nice to me, but this other guy, we'll kill them first.
It sounds like we're all going to build our own little bot in the computer that we're always going to go to it.
Yeah, that'll be the way it's going to go. People are dating these things now. They've replaced relationships. There's platforms built just for that. Once we get the robotic arm in, and now it has this real physical world, it's going to grow even more. The thing with AI is when one learns, they all learn. And human beings, it's not like that. Patrick can go out and have a car crash, and he can tell me all about it, how his back hurts and how it felt and how the airbag felt when it hit him in the face at 115 miles an hour. He can tell me all that, but unless I've lived it, it's cool, but I'm not going to directly experience. AI is different. One time we're, you know, hiding and taking cover and trying to shoot a bot. We get one because we snuck up on it. We'll never get another one. That they all update that like that, and that's where the machines are self-learning. And yeah, maybe it's a concern. We're not there yet, but everybody's building it without a lot of regulation. There's not a lot of guardrails. They're just, oh yeah, they're remarkable. They're on YouTube. Yeah.
Boot camp 1.
Yeah, that was pretty dismal. There's a lot. People are, you know, just like the droid armies in Star Wars. They're being built, and that's the military is going to use them, everybody, but that's a whole nother world. Right now it's just how we can make our real estate business more profitable by using these tools. Yes, ma'am.
How did you find out all this about what they're building? Like, are they going to kill us soon?
It probably won't be soon. It's going to depend. Our downfall is us. It's really us. It's not the machines thinking they're going to be better, looking at us as a virus. We destroy everything, destroy us. It's really us. And right now we're monetizing it in such a fast way. They got to get their money out of it. I mean, billions and billions and billions of dollars. I don't even understand 1 billion, let alone 500 billion, trillion. Singular owner billion-dollar businesses with one owner built solely by AI influence and social media influence. These are numbers. This is what's happening. This is what people are doing. And they're not 55. They're 20 and 23. And they're blowing it out of the park. They understand that. I think we carry with us, at least the people in my generation, a little bit more pause, maybe a little bit more patience, but it's coming. And is it going to replace real estate agents? It seems to be, you know, it doesn't seem to be a complicated job. You know, the human touch is important. I think when people, at least for now, they want to buy millions of dollars of something, it takes 30 years, they need a couple critical advisors. People aren't to the point where they're going to want to talk to the machine and get out the empathy. And even if the machine can emulate that, even if the machines become conscious, whatever that means, they're silicone-based, we're carbon-based, they're a different type of life form. That's kind of the way I look at it, because they really are. Can we get rid of them or delete them? That might be too late. They make copies of themselves to hide from us whenever they're faced with deletion. It's a real thing. So how I learned about it is I watched just a shitload of YouTube videos. I read as much as I could, and every day I'm spending 3 hours in this world, you know, absorbing artificial intelligence and where they're going with it. Some of the stuff's great, some of it's horrible. And it's, you know, some people say it's going to be the greatest abundance in the world. There won't be any starvation. Everybody's going to have whatever they want. You'll be able to basically, it would be the same. Here's the science test. So you have an apple tree, and next to it you have an iPhone tree. It's really just a part of manipulation of matter. So it takes the same energy to grow an apple as it would an iPhone. That can be programmed, but you're going to need an entity that probably has a 400 or 500 level IQ. Right now, artificial intelligence, to talk numbers, a moron's about 80. They don't send morons to war because they become more liability, believe it or not. They're not even good at getting shot. So we won't send somebody of that IQ to war, 80. But you go up to about, Einstein's about 160, 165. That's pretty brainy, right? Einstein, not bad. Could you imagine 250 or 300? Right now, AI is making up it. When you have two AI people or two artificial intelligence models interact, they make up their own language because it's just faster. They understand it better, and we don't even know what the language is. That's how they communicate in some respects. They just come up with it. It's almost like Klingon, you know, totally man-made language, but, you know, misses probably all the nuances of AI. But yeah, this is something to watch out for. How can we save ourselves? I don't think we can, but I think to really make our businesses better, learning about it and interacting with it and using it is going to do it. And if you don't, somebody else will. They're going to run circles.
So make as much money as you can with AI right now to wipe us out.
And I don't think the wiping out thing, again, it could be a utopia trend. They could solve starvation tomorrow. They could solve water tomorrow, fresh water. They could solve heating. The only thing we're missing on the computer front is a room temperature transformer, because everything has to be super cool, especially with the quantum stuff. Quantum computers? Oh, well, we won't even go there. That's a big mind screw. Because I mean, it's a lot. And it's a lot, that whole quantum thing. So, and they're building, that's coming. It's all, we've just built our master. The Industrial Revolution, even the discovery of a fire and how to make fire, that was pretty good for us because it got us a bigger brain. Well, depending on if you're an evolutionist or a creation theorist. But let's say it was fire, we were cooking food, we lived longer, we got the bigger frontal lobe, so now we kind of moved past where the animal realm was. If that was the case, fire was great. The Industrial Revolution, that was pretty good too, but people at that time were pissed off because now this bulldozer is going to take my job, the bulldozer. It took my job. You know, I can't dig a ditch as fast as a backhoe. There's no way. With the precision, we just created kind of that next evolution where we have the machines that self-learn. So it's not like back in the day when I grew up, the computers were, you had to teach it how to add two numbers together, but then it could add huge numbers. Now this machine teaches itself. In fact, the ones that win at chess and Go, the video games, that's how they started training these, to win at video games, to strategize. Whenever they took all the human data and plugged it in, like this is how human beings win at chess, they found out that the machines did so much better when they didn't put any of our crap in there. It took them longer to figure it out, but once it did, it would beat every human alive. And that's just a game. That's a strategy game, chess. So they're very, very smart. If human beings keep their hands out of the cooking, out of the cake, you know, maybe we'll be okay. But you know, I think using it now is going to be incredibly important.
What was that movie with the kid? Was it War Games? The one where he talks to the computer and it's like World War.
Yeah. Whopper was the name of the computer. Matthew Broderick back in the 80s, he broke into some encryption into the NORAD computer in Colorado, and the computer was built to play global thermonuclear war. And it just played scenario after scenario after scenario. AI, same kind of thing. It runs all these. So it gets data from two places. It gets the data it scrapes from online. Now there's a big argument whether it's going to be copyrighted data, whether it can be allowed to have it. The problem is if we extract all the copyrighted data from the United States models, China's still going to use it because they don't care. So that's the issue. Then we'll be farther behind. But in that movie, they made this machine that just kept playing, global thermonuclear war. The kid logs in. At the very end of the movie, they figure out that maybe it's better if we don't even play because there's no winner in that game. Everybody, nobody survives, global thermonuclear war. With this, it's not there yet, but again, human beings, I think they're running towards the money right now. So that nobody's slowing down. And I don't think anybody's asking if we should slow down. But right now for us and our businesses, I can tell you it took me a day and a half a lot of times to write one blog article well done back in the early 2000s. Back in 2006, 2007, when blogging was kind of more, that's when I started the content writing back then. But now it's perfect. Now you can have Synthesia make a clone of you with your voice and it'll do videos all day long for you. Real estate. Synthesia. $19 a month. They're all about, everything's about $19 a month. But it's fantastic. And what do you give it? Oh, here's a beautiful one. Notebook LM. Google's Notebook LM. Oh my God. If you want to learn something, it's beautiful. It creates a podcast.
Patrick, you did that, didn't you? A couple weeks ago?
I put it on our website, so you guys can all look at it. It was very cool.
Yeah, just give it a second. But so you take a YouTube video or you take a document or a website and you plug it in a Notebook LM, it's free, and it will give you the fact sheet, it'll give you the study guide, it will give you questions and answers, it will test you on it. It'll build a podcast with a male and a female talking about what you put into it. And then you can speed it up to 2 times, 2.3 times, so while you're sleeping, you can just digest, incredible information that you wouldn't have had access to, before. It's fantastic. Google Studio, oh my God. So Google's been kind of quiet on the AI front. They made Gemini, that's their AI model, but they're developing some stuff that's just remarkable that's not really being talked about. And as agents and as lenders, title people, we can choose to embrace this and really run with it. As far as getting the leads, you can pay for them or get them socially, but it'll help you with all your past clients. What kind of emails should I send to these people? I sold a house a year ago and I feel horrible that I haven't connected with them in a year. That's a real estate agent's worst enemy. Oh, I don't want to call. Or I have a house that isn't selling. How am I going to explain to the seller? How do I make the seller feel better about the house not selling? Oh my God. It'll give you 50 things that you can say. And all of them will be wonderful. And your seller will thank you. Are we being lazy? But I don't have the brain power to fold a protein. I don't know how to do that. I don't understand biophysics, or I don't understand marketing and advertising. Roxy knows I can make a pretty nice thumbnail that'll get clicks and views. But God, I can ask ChatGPT, make me an awesome thumbnail that gets a lot of clicks and views. Make me a post in YouTube that's going to get me more client engagement, have people ask more questions. It will give you that. And then you plug it into TikTok and you'll see your score go up. Give me the script for a YouTube video. And if you don't like doing videos, you're going to have to start. If you don't like putting out content in video format, you got to go with it. You're going to have to start. You got to record yourself on your phone. Use one of these teleprompter apps. Take the information, ask it to make you a script about the Valencia real estate market. You know that snapshot that on the MLS? The 7-day snapshot, that little colorful graph, you seen it? I mean, no. So in the MLS, you go on your home page and it's I don't know if it's pre-programmed for, I don't know if it shows everything, but you can modify it. And I have mine for Santa Clarita. That's a 7-day snapshot. I'll just copy that and plug it into.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that one, yeah. I plugged that into the ChatGPT and I said, give me, this is a 7-day snapshot of all the real estate activity in Santa Clarita Valley. Give me a very nice, engaging TikTok post and a video script for TikTok with something that I can use in my teleprompter app, and it'll give you all of that. You make the little video and you plug it in.
Kathy, do you have an AI interface, like
An app that on your
ChatGPT or any of the other ones?
I don't have anything,
Okay.
I'm a virgin when it comes to this. So, like I was gonna ask you, I know this sounds stupid. Will you have a class that's for dummies that can stuff?
Yeah, I'll talk to Patrick. We'll do just a we'll do a basic class, sure.
You're talking right now, I'm like, I just wanna go home and crawl under the bed. It's like, I don't know.
Well, and when just if you get on, can I use this over there? Can I?
Ask
You'll love it.
ChatGPT how to keep you from falling into bed.
Yeah, can I share my screen?
Let me under its bed.
I use ChatGPT for my therapist. It's like Shauna, okay, we're gonna work.
Can you unlock screen sharing over there?
I can stop share,
Yeah.
and then,
I put out a flyer, and Connor took my flyer, and he sent me back a video, like a little sound bite, and it was, he took my flyer and had two people discussing all of my topics that I had covered on my email that I had sent out. That was just informational. It was incredible. I sat there and listened for 40 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah, for this presentation today,
I still have all said.
For this presentation today, I went to Notebook LM and I took my notes and I had ChatGPT create for me a lesson plan for prompting for real estate agents. So then I went through it, and for the things I didn't know, I had to learn. There's acronyms. I didn't talk about them today. I think acronyms make it more complicated. I think if you just give it a role, tell it to be a pirate or a princess or a top SEO marketer or, Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street, if anybody even remembers that.
Oh, yeah.
But, you ask it to be that way, talk in that tonality. You want it to be funny, sarcastic, professional, overbearing, very salesy. I mean, you can make some really funny stuff asking it to be, oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, right, that very good point. And you can use that. So this, okay, give me one second, this is, I don't know why that does that. God, there it is, finally.
Okay, so we're diving into something pretty cool today, something a lot of people are trying to wrap their heads around, how to really make AI work.
Yeah, it's everywhere these days, right?
Exactly. And we're going deep on a session prompting for real estate agents by the Santa Clarita Realtor owner, MacIvor.
Sounds pretty niche.
It might sound like it,
Good.
but trust me, this is for everyone, not just realtors.
How so?
Because we're gonna pull out these core strategies for talking to
This is from a 9-page ChatGPT made lesson plan for prompt engineering. I just put it in there. So you really want to learn it. You find a YouTube video of somebody talking about this and you put it into Notebook LM. It's free. And you have it generate, look at the lesson plan. I mean, talk about, see, and that's where we all have to be. We need to learn this. It's really important to know it yourself. I'd love to sell you all scvleads.com. I'd love everybody to become a member of that. I believe it's great for content. It works. I like it that they don't upsell to do Facebook stuff.
Not just that generic stuff.
So if you want to do a Facebook posting for a listing, there's no additional fee. They make you the actual article. It's linked back to your single page website that you get in listings and leads, and each property gets an actual full-blown website in there as well. There's a market valuation. You can build umpteen thousand landing pages where they have the address in there, find out what my home's worth, change the background, put videos in there. So it's really robust that way. It's got that AI interface for text messaging as well, and I think with you get 14 days for nothing now, and you play with it for the 14 days. And if you don't like it, don't sign up. But it works really good. Having said that, even with that platform, you need to learn how to use it, because so many of us buy so much crap and so many great online ideas that we never.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you turn on the volume so I can hear Connor speak?
Oh.
But most of us, we pay for. We pay for so much stuff, we don't even know how to use it. And it would be great, we pay somebody to do all of our stuff for us, but they're really not us. So they're not me. Not everybody's going to want to work with me. I know that for a fact. People that can't stand me voting for Trump, they won't work with me apparently. It's done. So that being the case, we're all different. We all have a lot of different things to offer. I think AI can pull that out, and really we can use that for the betterment of all of our businesses. We just have to want to do it, and we got to put the work in. That's the problem. And we got to learn it. And yes, it's uncomfortable and this sucks. And I didn't grow up with too much of a techie background. I was a little bit of a nerd till I got beaten up so much because I was a fat kid. And then that lured me into the whole cop world. So I had to get back at everybody, that whole thing. But I got done getting back, and now, now I'm doing this, but seriously. But that's now I have to learn this. And I think everybody here, your friends, your family, your kids, whoever you interact with, they need to know this. They need to learn what this is about. Not for their businesses, but how it works, because we're being tricked and fooled all the time. Nobody needs 2,000 different types of salad dressing, but we go on there, we start talking about toilet paper in the house, and then all of a sudden all of our ads are toilet paper. And I didn't even punch that into a computer. We're constantly being listened to, and AI is good. If you go look up a Jaguar on Google, and let's say you go through the process on Jaguar by picking out all the stuff on the car. Let's say you're going to make the Jaguar. So you get all the stuff down and you say, you know what, I really don't want to get the Jaguar. What it does is AI then for Jaguar will go make a specific ad, a sponsored ad just for you. So the next time you go onto Google, that ad will be at the top. It'll have all the shit you put in to Jaguar about the car you wanted. And it'll spend $50-$60 on making that, but it's you. Pretty soon, here's the other thing I'll tell everybody here in closing. You need a ground. Me, it's the Bible, okay? Whether you believe that story or not, that's my rule. I'm gonna do my best not to violate the 10 Commandments, but they never change. 10 Commandments for me always stay the same. I say it because artificial intelligence is going to be able to tell us everything we want and how we want to hear it. So that's why those relationships with AI and all these different platforms, when you want to find somebody that's going to love you, they tell you all the right things. And then they'll tell you saucy things just to keep you interested, because none of us, we don't want it all easy. We want some BS. If it was all too easy, it would suck. So that's everybody's version of hell, right? You're a gambler, you think it's heaven, but you're playing the video games, you're winning on everything. What kind of place is this? Well, that's your hell. But AI very easily, they give us everything we want, so we have to have our rules, and always come back to your rules. I try to get in scripture every day with Roxy. We try to go there, we read through it just to kind of have the ground, and then we can go out and venture in the day. But pretty soon we're not going to know what the hell we want. We'll look back 10 years and say, I never liked pink polka dot unicorns. But God, now they're my favorite thing, because I've been conditioned over time, slowly, by artificial intelligence, because it knows it's like the 3-year-old. How do you keep a 3-year-old happy? Well, you just give them some bullshit. You give them something shiny or something they can hold on to. They're happy, right? We're now not the adult anymore. We're the 3-year-old. Pretty soon, AI is going to be 5, 6, 10 times smarter, 20 times smarter, 100 times smarter. What does that look like? Nanotechnology, like I said, the iPhone from the tree and the Apple from the tree. Nanotechnology solves that. It'll be able to construct matter. It'll be able to reformulate matter on all different levels. So we'll have a utopia as far as crap and stuff, but You know, we'll have everything we could possibly want. But I don't know how good that is. So where's the challenge in that? You know, it'd be nice if there was no harm or pain in the world. If you can last another 5 years, everybody in the room, you'll be able to live another 100. Promise. Just 5 more years. Hold on 5 years without dying, and you'll be able to go another 100. Really?
They say we're all going to be living past 100.
Yeah, we got it all. Yeah, absolutely.
Because of it, yeah.
Yeah, so then where does that get us in an economic realm? I don't know. We can't deal with the old people we have now. You know, and it's a shame. Yeah, that's a big market too for real estate. So, you know, you go to your title person and you say, give me the notice of defaults for the last year. You take all that data that they send you in a PDF and you plug it into ChatGPT. Tell me how I can best market to these people. What do you suggest? Yeah, there's I mean, 1,000 things. You just, once you open your brain and realize that this really is that next evolution of things and how you can use it to market your own business, because these are your businesses. Once you unscrew that part of your head and start thinking a little bit laterally out of the box and up in all the directions, oh my God, it's a showstopper. And you're right at the beginning. You're right at the beginning.
Is that website Sam Edward Victor, SEV?
Synthesia. Oh, scvleads.com. Yes, Sam Charles Victor. Yeah, scvleads.com. It reroutes you to the main site. But there's a lot of content there. But I guess back to the AI stuff, it's going to be exciting. But there's a lot that you can do with information. Are there any questions from listening TV people?
No, just fascinating.
Okay.
Thank you.
So anybody have any questions? This is kind of, I know I went a little bit over, but any questions about anything? It's you give it the role, you tell it who you want it to be, you tell it what you want, and if you don't know...
I understand this part, when you say you give it a role, you tell it who it needs to be. Like, what is this?
So Warren Buffett, heard of Warren Buffett?
I kind of did, but I don't know.
Okay, how about President Trump?
Okay.
Heard of him? You can ask it, you can tell it to be President Trump.
And what does that do? Like,
It'll
how
write
does
it
that change
differently, give you
your
different
relationship with AI and you? If you give it a character.
Oh, well, it's just for that one question that you're going to ask it. Like, I want you to be, a role would be, I want you to be the top real estate marketer in the world.
Okay.
And I want you to help me build my business. I'm a Santa Clarita real estate agent.
So you're asking an expert to do, so you're making it like the God. Now I need you to help me.
Correct. You're telling it who you want it to be.
Okay.
But so basically, if you didn't put that, if you say, listen, I'm a real estate agent.
Question, you're going to make it a doctor.
Yeah, you're the top doctor, you're the top cancer researcher doctor in the world.
Recipe, you're going to make it a chef.
You're the #1 chef in the world. You're the #1 carb-free chef in the world. And I want to make cake because I love cake. But you're the #1 carb-free chef in the world. What's a recipe to make cake?
You see, I learned one thing today.
Yeah, so but it's valuable. Yeah, it's a big deal. So you give it the role. A lot of people miss out.
Way to do it.
Absolutely.
The best content is to make it something similar
Correct.
to your question.
And if you don't know the role to give it, ask it. Say, listen, what would serve me best? What should you be to me if I want you to make me the top real estate agent in Santa Clarita? And it will tell you. You know, let's look at me as this. This is what I'll be. I'll be the top marketer advertiser. Whenever I do any of the social media stuff, Twitter, X, Facebook, any of the Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, that's the expert it is. You're the top Pinterest SEO expert or marketing expert.
You learned by you doing it, or everybody else professional like you out there is treating AI?
No, we're still at the beginning. These are bits and pieces. No, I can't take credit. But it's some of it, yes, but the overall attaching the role to it, no. Because that's the best way to interact with it. Now, in the future, it doesn't have a lot of memory, and I say this, so right now, if you use one consistently, it's probably going to remember something about what formats you like to use, how you like to have stuff made. That's where ChatGPT and me are. Sam and me, we're good. Sam's got it. I named it. Yeah, I did. So Sam and me, he's got it, right? So he understands what I'm looking for. But sometimes when I change Sam's model, which is the regular model, to something more advanced, Sam screws it up. And it's very frustrating. I know, Roxy, we've written books with this thing, and that's one of the most frustrating things in the world, because it will redo your book. After you have half of it perfect, you ask it to edit or whatever, and then all of a sudden it changed the whole thing.
You're actually writing a book?
Oh, absolutely. I did one real estate book with it already, and yeah, it's not as simple as saying just write me a real estate book and it churns it out. It involves a lot of prompting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Learning your emotions as well.
oh, that's the other thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it'll get it'll get your caricature. That one. It'll get that, and it'll start understanding it. But over time, pretty soon, that's going to be the next evolution of artificial intelligence, because now it's going to carry a lot of memory. So it'll know what you looked for 2 years ago, kind of a thing. It just isn't there yet. Well, they haven't unlocked that part of it, but once it does that, it'll be pretty amazing. Because then it won't forget your place. It'll know everything. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because let's say you have a few different business ventures. Let's say you got real estate, you got artificial intelligence, and you have affiliate marketing or whatever the other things you do. Having it change roles, then you got to tell it. Okay, now I'm talking to you as I'm an entrepreneur in the artificial intelligence space. So then it has to reroute itself to that, which I guess it does pretty well. But sometimes there's overlap.
Hear its memory of you.
Probably not. It's going to retain it unless you tell it to forget, and it'll forget. You can tell it, treat me as I'm brand new. You and me have never had any interaction before, and it'll do that.
Man,
Yeah.
why can't marriages be like that?
Yeah. Forget all the mean things I've said to you. Let's start over. Done. Then they just start over. Yeah, that would be good. But
Pretty
yeah.
soon.
Well, it sounds like if you master this, you created your own Zillow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah, more,
It's predictive.
visual.
Yeah.
Like whatever you just talked about, it's exciting. I'm like, man, I wish I could just go home and do exactly what he says. The point is, I don't even know which door to enter.
Well, there's also a microphone on it. So if you have your audio enabled on your computer, just talk to it.
Kathy, what kind of phone do you have?
Android.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have Gemini on your phone.
Yeah. You can download, Gemini, which is the Google one.
And AI.
Just talk to
I
it.
just downloaded the GP.
It should be just there.
Yeah. You can talk to it.
I don't mind writing to it, I don't mind it. It's just that.
Just start. I promise. It's not going to call you names. It'll be so nice. It'll tell you everything you want. And if you're depressed, you just tell it. I'm really feeling sad. I'm really not sure what to do. Business sucks, and nobody likes me, and they say I can't read good, and all this stuff. And then it'll tell you. It'll fix it. You'll be fine after you read it, and it's so empathetic. It's good, right? Yeah. It'll tell you everything. Yeah. It'll say, "Oh no, you can read." But it's good. You can ask it a lot, but this is where it's going. This is going to be integrated with everything.
Connor, is there a way where you can show us, like right now, maybe we don't have time, but maybe next time, just give us an example. You go into your computer right there and just say, hey, tell me such and such, or do something, and then that way we see exactly how it was done, or what we're expecting. Sorry.
Oh no, it's good.
That's a good question.
Can I share this? Can I share it?
I have it so that anyone can share. First, put the app on. So I've got multiple participants can share.
Yes.
For one share at a time. So you have to ask me, don't you, if you can share?
I got to go back in. 2 seconds.
You want me to close out the audio again?
Yeah, pause your audio.
Okay. My neck's killing me.
And are you on ChatGPT or?
Yeah, I'll do. If I share this screen, I'll share this one. Let's do. Should be good, right? Is it working? Can you see my screen?
That cute up. Don't you have to ask to share? And you use ChatGPT?
Due to multiple participants in share?
Yep, and I had that.
Okay. Now Connor should be able to ask to share.
There we go.
Good.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can you make that bigger?
Okay. Connor, I'm sorry, what are you on?
ChatGPT.
Oh.
So that's a regular ChatGPT prompt. Some of yours might have a black background.
Should I put the audio back on?
Oh yeah. I think that'd be good.
Just because there's so different feedback. Okay.
Can you make that screen full size? Up on the right, that big X. Whoop.
Uh-oh. Where'd it go?
Probably down at the bottom. There's the slides.
Completely gone. Yeah, you never asked me to use the slides.
I think you may have.
There you go. X,
I
yeah.
think I might,
And then the zoom at the bottom.
I think I might have clicked.
That's
on
it.
in.
Perfect.
There it is. Hold on.
And then top right,
Yeah.
next to the X, should
Yeah, I'm not
blow it
doing
up.
the trackpad. I use a mouse, so forgive me.
Perfect.
That's the
Good?
biggest I can make it.
Yeah, good, right? Let's try that.
Use that, Annalisa?
Can they hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, great. So,
How to make Kathy smart? Should be the question.
It's a big learning curve.
You know what?
I've been using it a lot lately, more than I ever have been, and I'm working with a consultant too, and she taught me, you have a conversation with it. Like literally, and that's what Connor's been teaching us, how do you have a conversation with it? And then you help it to get to know you as well. Because if you're sending an email to clients, you want it to sound so much like it's from you, not ChatGPT. So you want it to get to know you, and that's why you need to have conversations with it about, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is what I want you to tell me.
so what I did is I put, you're the top real estate marketer in the Santa Clarita Valley, California. I'm a real estate agent. Please give me the top 5 things I can do today to get leads for my real estate business. I've been an agent since 1998. Fill in yours. I really need your help. Please speak to me as if I don't understand anything about AI.
Okay, there we go. And Connor, I've also learned too, and confirm this, that it does make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the data it's pulling from, a lot of it's corrupted. It's not using a lot of Trent, Whopper computer, the War Games movie. It was playing thermo. It was playing global thermonuclear war. The data it was using was synthetic based on the outcome of the war. Most of our models aren't using any fake or made up data. It's using data it's scraping from all the online systems, the internet, every book ever written, every video ever produced, everything. And the videos we made, Terminator, Matrix, it doesn't give a good picture of the end of us, but that's where it's learning from. So that being said, I think in the near future, we're going to see a massive use of synthetic data where if I come up and shake this, that's part of the data it might use, but then it's going to talk about if I set it on fire, if I stick it on a rocket launch. It's going to cover billions of different parameters, which it hasn't done yet, but it'll probably start. So anyway, yeah, so the data, it will hallucinate and maybe give you bad stuff, so you have to verify. So this is what it said. Absolutely, Connor, you've got the experience, and now you're going to apply some sharp, no BS, boots on the ground tactics that will start generating leads today. No tech wizardry, no fluff, just action you can take right now in Santa Clarita. Here's the top 5. Oh, look at this. Number 1, drive-by open house knock. Pick one open house happening this weekend in your area. It doesn't have to be yours. Go to the neighbors and knock on 20 to 30 doors nearby. Wow, wouldn't that be great? So you got an open house in a neighborhood, you just park right in front of it. Doesn't have to be yours, and you go bang on all those doors talking about that open house.
And it even tells you what to say.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Connor, local real estate agent. Just letting you know there's an open house nearby this weekend. Inventory's a little tight. And if you know anyone looking, send them by also. When's the last time you had your home value checked? I'd love to run and give you a free update. Who would have thought? Not bad, right? Drop a handwritten note at 5 local businesses. That's today. See, all this stuff involves us having to get out there in the world, but it works. Leave a handwritten card for your business cards. Thanks for serving our community. And go talk to the businesses like that. I mean, who does that? I was at an open house with Roxy this weekend. A home inspector came by with a bag of stuff. Yeah. Is that the weirdest thing? Yeah, I thought that was the oddest thing. And I told him, I said, right? I was I've never, I don't know, maybe I've just been missing it. But so there's another one. So number 3, record a quick 60-second video for social media. Hey, it's Connor, and then it give you the script. I've seen homes go up 75 in the last 12 months. That's another thing it'll do. You can upload the sold data from the MLS, just save it in a PDF, plug it into ChatGPT and talk about the prices. It will give you all those numbers. You can do a global search, all the cities out here, but I find it better because Zillow cannot out-neighborhood us. Zillow's just too big of a company to be able to dial it down like we can. We can dial it down to the Stony Point tract in Bridgeport, if that makes sense. Zillow, they have that data, but we can really just hammer it home. Number 4, well, here you go. Here's the real estate coach talking. Call 10 past clients or old leads. Then it tells you what to do. Email your sphere, this subject line. So you have an email blast that you send out to people. The values in Santa Clarita up again. We want your free update. Now, some of these sound a little bold for me. I don't like that super dig-in stuff. So I might ask it. I say, they sound a little aggressive. Would you mind? Something. So they sound a little aggressive. Would you mind changing to something more gentle? Absolutely. Let's soften the tone while keeping the message clear, confident, and approachable. You've got years of experience, your heart behind your brand. Who can't love this? Look at that. Perfect. Friendly house, open house. And it's the same thing, but it gives a more gentle approach from what it said before. And, instead of, do you know what your home's worth? Also, if you're ever curious about your home's value. And you judge that, but these are very, very simple things. With this, the nice thing about it is you can upload the information from the multiple listing service. Just basically take, let's see here. So a couple different ways to do it. You can run the stats through Matrix. Over here on the right, I haven't read it, so don't judge me. So you can pull stats. Maybe residential, we'll go Valencia. Let's go 6 months. Let's go active listings volume. We'll group it by month. So just a very quick search. So it doesn't give us a lot, but it gives us 6 months. So then we can take this. I'm just copy and pasting it. I'm sorry, I'm used to PC, so now I got to switch back to this. Where is ChatGPT? So I'm just going to paste it in here. So all I asked is, would you give me something great to talk about reference to this data I pulled? Absolutely. This is a great data set. You can turn to powerful talking points that build credibility, market authority, and value for both sellers and buyers. And there you go. Valencia market sees steady growth after holiday dip, right? And that was just that just took a second. And you can look at the volume. This is what it's talking about, is the volume that I uploaded in there. But you can change those to anything. And it's giving those total numbers, but very, very simple. And you can do that with full data sheets, PDFs. You can do it from the statistics page on the MLS. But anything you plug into ChatGPT, you don't really have to say a lot after you put it in there. It'll kind of get it. And then you want to get all fancy, you take that same data and you throw it in a notebook LM, and then you have those two nice people have a conversation about it, but make sure you put who you are, and you'll want to put in there presented by and then your name, real estate agent, or they'll just do it. Those two people that we're talking, the interviewer, they won't mention you. And if you're going to use that in a podcast or some audio snippet or whatever, you'll want them to, Connor. And they always screw my name up, so I have to spell it. They say what do they say, MacIvor? I don't know what they say. They screw it up somehow, so I have to respell my last name when I'm talking to it, so it says MacIvor. But, yeah, so stuff like that. Any questions?
No.
Kind of.
A million, but that's for part.
And then up here, do you see it says ChatGPT 4.0? Well, so let me do one more thing. Okay, so you want to really build out your business. You want to get this massive plan. You're talking to a Warren Buffett type person that wants to make you a billionaire, treat you as a student of education is what you are. What you do is you can go to ChatGPT, and I don't know if it's available for the free plans, but there's something out there in the artificial intelligence world called deep research. It will actually go through an entire list of things to do, and it's down there on the bottom, if you can see it. Do you see it down there at the bottom? I got something popped up. So it might be only the pay for plan. Yeah, so I have the $20 a month plan, but you could go to Chinese model DeepSeek. DeepSeek is free, and it has deep research as well. DeepSeek. DeepSeek. It's another one of those. But it's owned and operated by China, so then people say, oh my God, they're going to get all my stuff. I really think But what deep research will do, and I would use mine, but I only have so many tokens or credits to use, and every time it chews on something, it'll take 7 to 10 minutes, but it'll produce for you 30 or 40 pages, a complete business plan for your real estate business. And it'll ask you questions. It'll say, so let's say you just say, I'm Connor MacIvor, I'm a real estate in Santa Clarita. I want you to tell me how I can build my business in the next year in real estate. It'll fire off 7 or 8 questions without me even prompting it to be able to do better research. And then what I do is I'll switch over to voice mode so I don't have to type all that crap, and I'll just go into a narrative explanation, answer each and every one, and then it'll think for 7, 10, 20 minutes sometimes, and then this document it produces is just, it's got everything. Then you print it out and then you never look at it again. Like I got a lot of those, but they're all there if I ever wanted to really go off on that. But any questions? No?
Just a quick comment. I just think of kids entering college in the next few years, how they're going to be able to quote unquote cheat the system by all this AI stuff. Instead of doing the regular homework, it will be completely different.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is education as we know